Holding a U.S. passport once meant relatively easy access to most countries around the world. However, that privilege is now quickly eroding. A growing number of countries are choosing to deport American citizens, not just for major criminal offenses, but for far less serious infractions. Overstaying visas, violating local laws, or simply being perceived as culturally disruptive are now sufficient reasons for removal in many parts of the world. What's driving this global shift? A combination of tightened immigration policies, increasing anti-Western sentiment, and enhanced border enforcement has made it significantly harder for Americans to reside abroad without encountering legal complications. This video explores the top 10 countries currently deporting American citizens, some for reasons that might surprise you. From administrative oversights to political sensitivities, the line between being a welcome visitor and an unwanted foreigner is thinner than ever. If you're planning to live or spend an extended period in another country, it's essential to be fully informed. Watch until the end, and don't forget to like the video and subscribe to our channel for more global updates and travel insights. 1. Russia has become one of the most challenging and unpredictable destinations for Americans. With diplomatic relations between Washington and Moscow at a low point, deportations of U.S. citizens have sharply increased. The charges are often vague or unspecified. Americans have been expelled for minor visa violations, political speech, or even attending gatherings perceived as anti-government. The Russian government views many foreigners as potential threats to national stability. Journalists, students, and even tourists have faced interrogation, detention, and deportation, often with little explanation. In some cases, Americans have been declared persona non grata, permanently banning them from re-entering the country. Even business travelers are not immune, with American entrepreneurs suddenly deported under accusations of violating business conduct laws, often without a formal trial. As geopolitical tensions rise, Russia is treating American visitors with heightened suspicion, and even minor missteps can result in immediate expulsion. 2. India may not typically come to mind when thinking of deportations, but in recent years, the country has seen a notable rise in Americans being removed for overstaying visas, unauthorized work, and religious activity. The immigration system has become more digitized and rigid, particularly for long-term visitors and volunteers. Many Americans visiting India for yoga retreats, spiritual missions, or charity work enter on tourist visas. However, performing unpaid labor or speaking publicly about religion can be considered a violation of visa terms. Detentions and deportations have occurred due to proselytizing or participating in religious events, even unintentionally. India's bureaucratic visa renewal process is complex, and failing to update one's visa or register with the FRRO, Foreigners Regional Registration Office, can result in sudden deportation. With increasing national security concerns and stricter oversight of foreign influence, India has stopped turning a blind eye to such infractions, even when committed by Americans. 3. Indonesia, and particularly the island of Bali, has become a magnet for digital nomads, many of them Americans. However, the government is cracking down on foreigners who abuse visa privileges, misuse social media, or show cultural disrespect. Bali's governor has explicitly stated that visitors disrupting the island's cultural or moral integrity will be deported without hesitation. Several Americans have been expelled for working remotely on a tourist visa, posting offensive or inappropriate content online, or failing to observe proper dress codes and religious customs in sacred places. Even traffic violations and disrespect toward temple grounds have triggered deportations. Authorities regularly monitor foreigners' social media and cross-reference content with visa types. If an American is found conducting business or living in ways inconsistent with a tourist visa, they may face detention, fines, blacklisting, and immediate removal. The message is clear: follow the rules or leave. 4. Saudi Arabia. As one of the most conservative countries in the world, Saudi Arabia enforces rigid religious and social laws. Americans, many of whom work in industries like oil, education, and construction, must adhere to strict behavioral codes. Deportation is common for those who violate these regulations, and American citizenship offers no special immunity. Reasons for deportation range from alcohol possession and unapproved social interactions to social media posts seen as offensive or contradictory to Islamic values. Some Americans have been arrested simply for sharing personal photos deemed inappropriate. Moreover, Saudi Arabia's Saudization policy, which aims to prioritize Saudi nationals over foreign workers, has led to widespread job loss and subsequent deportations among Americans. Legal complaints or disputes with employers can also result in sudden removal, often without trial. Living in Saudi Arabia as an American means constant caution and vigilance. 5. Mexico. Despite its close relationship with the United States and popularity among American retirees and digital workers, Mexico has begun deporting U.S. citizens at a pace not seen in decades. Immigration authorities are clamping down on long-term foreign residents who lack proper legal status. Although tourist visas generally allow a 180-day stay, many Americans have exploited this by leaving and re-entering repeatedly to reset the clock, a practice that is no longer tolerated. Officials are now denying entry or deporting those found living in Mexico permanently without the right documentation. Expats who fail to pay taxes, break local property laws, or disrupt community harmony are being targeted. Even influencers and remote workers promoting life in Mexico have faced deportation when their online content revealed they lacked legal status. With national pride on the rise and tighter enforcement, Americans can no longer assume they'll be allowed to stay indefinitely without following the rules. Deportations are increasing, and rapidly. 6. Thailand has long attracted Americans drawn by its affordability, tropical climate, and lively expat hubs like Bangkok and Chiang Mai. But many overlook the country's strict immigration enforcement. Even minor visa infractions, like overstaying by a few days, can result in immediate deportation and re-entry bans. Thai immigration officials now carry out random visa checks at residences, co-working spaces, and popular tourist locations. Americans working remotely without a legal work permit, believing it's fine because their job is US-based, are regularly deported for unauthorized employment. Disrespecting Thai traditions, taking part in protests, or making negative remarks about the monarchy can lead to arrest, detention, and blacklisting. Some Americans have even been held in immigration detention centers before being sent home, permanently barred from returning. 7. Philippines. With its widespread English usage and deep U.S. ties, the Philippines has long been a preferred destination for American retirees and remote workers. However, in recent years, deportations of U.S. citizens have sharply risen. Common causes include visa overstays, criminal records, and even violations of public conduct. Many Americans assume they can easily extend tourist visas or stay without formal residency. But background checks during visa renewals have revealed past legal issues, leading to immediate expulsion. Running unlicensed businesses, working without permits, or behaving in ways that disturb public order can also get Americans flagged as undesirable. Outspokenness on politics or religion, sensitive topics in the country, has triggered deportations as well. 8. United Arab Emirates, UAE, Dubai and Abu Dhabi are popular among Americans seeking luxury and tax-free salaries. But the UAE's legal system is vastly different from the US, and ignorance of local customs can quickly lead to deportation. Strict moral codes and zero-tolerance policies mean that behavior considered normal in the US can have severe consequences in the Emirates. Acts like public displays of affection, profanity, drinking without a license, or posting inappropriate content can result in arrest, detention, and removal. Even public arguments or complaints from locals can escalate into legal trouble. Several Americans have been deported over social media issues, workplace disputes, or minor legal conflicts. The UAE reserves the right to deport anyone without trial if deemed a threat to public harmony. 9. Turkey. With its rich heritage and beautiful landscapes, Turkey is a favorite among American travelers. However, rising tensions between the US and Turkish governments have led to increased deportations. Journalists, missionaries, and expats have been removed for activities considered threats to national interests. Even casual political comments, protests, or online posts critical of the Turkish government can result in blacklisting. Turkey's broad definition of security threats means that associations with controversial groups, or even unrelated social media activity, can be enough for expulsion. While high-profile cases grab headlines, many Americans are quietly deported without warning after unintentionally crossing political red lines. 10. China operates one of the world's strictest and most opaque immigration systems. While Americans still travel to cities like Beijing and Shanghai for business, education, or tourism, they do so under growing surveillance. The Chinese government has shown less tolerance for foreign influence, and Americans have been deported as part of broader political crackdowns. Common reasons include overstaying visas or working in positions inconsistent with visa terms. Some have been expelled for distributing religious materials, which is strictly prohibited. China's government closely monitors digital activity, and deteriorating US-China relations have made deportations more arbitrary. Americans caught in civil legal issues, such as business disputes, may face exit bans, preventing them from leaving until cases are resolved, only to be deported afterward. The global shift: the world's perception of American travelers and expatriates is evolving. As immigration laws tighten and local cultures assert themselves more forcefully, Americans are no longer immune to enforcement. If you're considering a move abroad, be sure to research local laws, respect cultural expectations, and stay current on visa rules. For more content like this, remember to like the video and subscribe to the channel. Stay informed, stay respectful, and avoid becoming the next deportation headline. Let us know in the comments if you'd like a shortened version, voiceover script, subtitles, or thumbnail title suggestions.